Well,
back.
welcome back, guys. Woohoo!
Hopefully you're not sick of us yet. It was only one episode.
It's only like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so, we're here. We're back. And we're ready to take it on for episode 2.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're going to be talking about all of the family traditions. Y'all welcome.
Yeah, well, not all of them.
Not all of them.
But-
We don't have enough time.
That's lots and lots of episodes. But we figured we're going to take you on a trip down memory lane.
Oh, it's the best. So Emily had actually made a post the other day thinking that, you guys respond, but do you think that we were best friends forever? And it was very much not so. I love you with my whole heart, but I'm the lover of the two of us. And one of my favorite childhood stories. Emily actually used to not like me, obviously, older sister, younger sister, and I
kind of liked you a little bit.
when you needed somebody to like.
That's true. When
When
you
you were
hang
born.
out with.
Yeah, when we were born, she needed somebody to hang out with. She liked me, and I was like, yes, this is my moment.
Or when we were like on family vacations because I had to hang out with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and even then, actually, she would make me draw pictures on her back, and she paid me like $0.25 for every 30 minutes worth of pretend drawing pictures, which is really, as you get older, realize I'm just scratching her back for her.
I would like to point out that was the start of entrepreneurship.
I was just gonna say, I was like, I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or
Hustle
form.
from the early days.
Oh, that's so accurate.
That is funny.
It was, yeah. And actually, it's so
Making
funny
you
because,
laugh.
yeah, all the time. It wasn't just sometimes. It was all the time.
It was a lot. The foot rubs too.
The foot rubs. I mean,
Also worth $0.25.
Granny taught us how to get good foot rubs. But back to the point of the story was that Emily and I were not besties. I worshiped the ground she walked on while she was like, I got shit to do. When I need you, I need you. And so therefore it created some really interesting moments when I would be a kid. And sometimes I would sneak into Emily's room while she slept. And I would sleep. I know, such a creep. But I didn't want to sleep alone. So I'd sleep at the foot of her bed on the floor. And actually it wasn't even like the foot. It was like the day bed, and it's like the bottom part on the carpet of the day bed here. And I'm just have the world's baby blanket, right? Like a tiny blanket, like this big, and I am just curled up down there. And she would wake up and be so pissed that I was in there. I probably scared you now thinking about it. Like, how terrifying. You go to bed and you wake up and your sister's just like
person
underneath you. But so
now we know where trauma started.
yeah, I think my trauma started before yours. I will say it was just, I needed to sleep at the foot of my sister's bed. I wasn't ready. And she'd get so pissed and just be mad at me. And my parents, every time would get mad at each other. Very special sister moment here. I think it's kind of what made us, which is funny because, I said, look, we have to talk about the sister plaque. And she goes, Sister Black, and I will never forget because it's everybody's version of the Getting Along t-shirt now. Oh yeah, this is early 90s, and my parents had it down. They had a plaque on the wall, and we should really research, and we'll post it if we find it. The sisters plaque, because this thing, my parents would make us stand in front of holding hands, and would say, "Now read it to each other," and we each had to take it and read it to each other. So I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit about what the beginning was because I will never forget being little and holding your big sister's hand. My sister, I love her. She is so amazing and I am so blessed to have her.
With that same face.
Yeah, actually with that exact same face. Emily's face was much different than mine during those moments. Yeah, actually that face was a little bit like my sister. I love her. And I'm blessed. And I just it was so funny because I didn't really realize it until you're an adult looking back. You're like, oh, she hated that. She hated that. And I'm sitting here like, yes, she has to tell me she loves me. Yay me. And it's just so funny because, two different people. But again, I always like to bring it back to the fact that we have become the best of friends through it.
We did. And you're not wrong. I definitely, now that you refreshed my memory on it, I remember those moments. And they did go just like that.
That's so
every time, actually, I'm adding one in here because it just popped into my head. But I remember getting chicken pox. I get diagnosed with chicken pox. So I had to have been like 3
This
or
girl.
4. 3 or 4, I think it was. And
You're 4. You were 4.
yeah, because you would have been around 1. So she's a little baby. And the doctor's like, whatever you do, like you need, no, maybe it was 5, because you might have been around a toddler, like 2.
I feel like I was a little.
Yeah, because the doctor was like, whatever you do, like when you get home, you need to stay as far away from your sister. And I kid you not, I walked in the door, went up to my sister, and rubbed myself on her and gave her chicken pox at the 2-ish years old. But yeah, that's the that's the difference in relationship.
Wait, I got a good one too. This is what this is about, guys. It's kind of like just popping in here to what we got. But there was a moment when I had to get, what was it, like 11 teeth removed? And my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Right? It was like 11 teeth removed. And my wisdom teeth. And I was like, you guys, I was in 5th grade. Okay? 5th grade, getting all of these teeth taken out. And my wisdom teeth weren't in yet. They were just pulps. So they had to scoop it out. And my sister, they obviously drugged me up, knocked me out. We're driving home and my dad says, hey, hold your sister. And she goes, what are you talking about? Doesn't hold me. My dad stops at the stoplight and what? Right on the seat ahead of me. Like, you guys, I mean, I hit the headrest. This girl let me just say, oh, that's why.
My God. I get the memo now.
But like tradition-wise, I think it is something that really built our foundation as sisters.
Yeah.
Is like, thank you parents for forcing us into that, because like one of us loved it, one of us hated it, and look at us now.
That's it. Look how far we've come from those days.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
To us and to the baby versions of us.
That's it. Our inner child.
Mm.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay. So if we're going traditions, one of the big ones that we had was we would always have Thanksgiving for the most part with Armstrong side. And that was a really fun one because we would get to go. I can remember when it was Granny and Granddad's in Yucca. So we grew up in Yucca Valley, California. That they had lived there as well, and grandmother would come too when she lived there.
And that's, for those of you that don't know, that is right next to Joshua Tree, which many of you know as the national park. They're actually, like, the schools go together. They're intertwined there. So that's where that is,
And just to point out, the Joshua Tree that everybody knows and experiences now, not the same.
Not the same.
Where we grew up. Now it's like the hot spot for the LA crew. Hipster. There's like all the Airbnbs. Yeah, no, that is not.
They have Panda Express now.
We were excited for Walmart right before I grew up. So it is not the same. But we would go to our grandparents and like our cousins and uncles and aunts and everybody. And it was always different parts of the family that would come for Thanksgiving. But I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations is long past due because of our age. So we actually used to get to drink with our family on Thanksgiving. And so it was just like a really fun tradition. Mm-hmm. Not that we would drink to the level that we might drink today, but no. But I remember like Granny used to always allow us to have a Kir Royale, which was the way she made it was Chambord champagne, and you would get that at the beginning as the festivities started. And then our grandfather always had to have bottles of Nouveau Beaujolais at our Thanksgiving tradition. And so we, took that into our adult lives. We lived with that all of our childhood. And so it's a tradition that we have still since to this day, like kept up and upheld to keep on with the family tradition. And so we, not all years do we do the Kir Royales, but all years we do the Nouveau Beaujolais. But it was just a really fun experience because for us, we're very family oriented. And so to be able to get to spend the time with the cousins and aunts and uncles and play games or eat the fancy dinner and all the different things, like we just really got to experience something that was very much more traditional. So our Thanksgivings growing up were very big traditional Thanksgivings where everybody sat at a table together with the fine china. You worked your silverware from outside in.
Most
like,
of the time, Emily and I set these tables.
Yeah,
So
we know how to set a fancy table.
we know how to set a fancy table. That's right. Yeah, we do. I mean, I don't have napkins with napkin holders in my house,
we put
but
napkin rings, like the
Then-
whole thing.
yeah.
So but that's the tradition. That's the main tradition that we kept from Thanksgiving and continued on
Yeah.
into our adulthood.
Well, and the turkey, because let me
Yeah.
make this very clear. Emily makes a great turkey. She makes a great turkey.
Well, I didn't make turkey back then. That was
Right, I know.
was
I'm
just a
saying like
kid.
the tradition of turkey.
Yes.
You like
Well, all the
you
dishes.
took it on. It was
Yes.
great. It was great. But
Well, I did. So growing up, like once we graduated, I took on Thanksgiving when we moved to Las Vegas. And so
turducken.
we did. We made a turducken one year that like I literally went to my boyfriend at the time and was like, I'm gonna like I need you to break some birds because I don't know how to do this, but this
We gotta
is like
shove some birds
what I
in
want
some
to do,
birds.
and I have to put a bird inside a bird inside a bird. And so I don't know if you know how to do it, but you're gonna need to figure it out. Like watch some YouTube videos, figure it out. And God bless him, he did. We did it 2 years in a row, I think. I'm pretty sure one year we wrapped it in bacon.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah. Oh my.
the turducken is
God.
a-
We gotta try that again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
we
gonna
need
say that.
someone to break the
Sean,
Someone to do it.
Sean,
Perfect.
bust those birds right
Yeah.
now.
The it's the turkey. Well, it's a chicken stuffed inside of a duck inside of a turkey, I think. Note to anybody out there: should you try to attempt it, if the duck is going inside another bird and not on the outside, which you can't outside the turkey, you don't want the skin on it. Duck skin is insanely delicious when it's on the outside and gets nice and crispy.
I forgot about that.
When we had it that first year on the inside, it was very fatty and very like soft and squishy.
You remember I actually the first year that she made it, I had duck in my life and I knew it was delicious, but I used to love collecting rubber duckies at some point in my life.
Oh yeah, you did.
And I would not eat the duck, but then they gave me a bite of it, and that's actually when I started eating duck again. But it wasn't any of the ooey gooey
Yeah.
part. You guys
We had
gave
to
me
like
the good
cut.
stuff.
We had to cut those pieces off because it was like note to self. Now we know for next time. But yeah, that was the tradition that I took on, and I've now been doing it almost 20 years, hosting Thanksgiving every single year.
It's our favorite. It literally, if you ask me, it doesn't matter. I would never, ever miss Thanksgiving at my sister's. I better be in labor or somebody's dying for me to miss my sister's Thanksgiving because it is my favorite holiday. It's the best. It's just the best. Honestly, we've turned it and morphed it. It is always at Emily's house, which I'm grateful for. I love you. Great job. Because that's the hardest part. But like, it's just, you've never hesitated to allow all of my friends, and now, like we talked about last episode, my in-laws are her in-laws. So even they came. That's a whole nother episode, actually. We should
Yeah.
definitely talk about that Thanksgiving.
That's
Oh yeah, let's save that for one of your
Yeah.
dating ones
Yeah,
as
no.
well. It's like a blend. It's like a blend of Emily's. Yeah, there's two in there, but it's just like it's so fun, and it's an all-day event. It's an
Yeah.
all-day event. Okay, why don't you do food and I'll do TV?
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
So growing up, Thanksgiving was also a very big tradition for us. So that's what morphed us into this segment. But we would always go to our grandparents around like 2, and then like your regular dinner was probably around like 5, and then everybody had a turkey coma and passed out.
Yeah.
And you all went to your respective homes. So somewhere along the lines, we decided, why does it only have to be for a few hours?
All day.
So we made Thanksgiving an all-day affair.
Oh yeah.
So it goes at least from 9 to 9. So it's at least 12 hours. Sometimes it starts as early as 8.
I would say most time. Well, at least for
Only for
us.
you guys.
For us,
Because you
yeah.
get there and we start like prepping some stuff. But there are multiple meals that happen throughout the day. So we start with monkey bread and mimosas. And that's like the first part of the day. And why do we do that?
It's because it's the Macy's Day Parade. Oh my gosh, for all those out there that love it, I get you. Emily gets you. The musical in us. I mean, I don't care. I am that girl. Yeah, I'll sit there and I'll watch every second of that parade. And it's fun because like our mom comes over and it's the best way to start off together because it brings this little kid, as we will always talk about the inner child because it's so important. But it just brings that little kid in you alive when you're like watching all of the Broadway happen. And it's just something that we love doing. And it is like if I do not have monkey bread and a mimosa while watching the Macy's Day Parade, the 3Ms aren't existing. Love it.
That's
Yeah.
true. And then we segment into, we're both big charcuterie board people, so we segment into a nice charcuterie section with all the meats and cheeses and dips that you could possibly imagine.
What would you say your favorite cheese is? I know your favorite.
Well, you
well,
I'm stuck on your favorite one, which is the blueberry.
You guys, there's a blueberry out there. What's the name of the
I don't know.
I
It's at
just
Publix.
genuinely
I don't know
buy it.
what
It's
I'm
at
thinking about it.
Publix. And let me tell you, blueberry cheese.
Oh, it's so good with
Oh.
honey on top.
And if you have honeycomb, just put a
Yeah.
little of that on there. Oh,
That's
it's
so
so good. But yes, sorry.
I just actually really love cheese.
I know.
But-
Yeah, cheese. I have a towel that says "fuck, I love cheese."
yeah, no, it's
Mhm.
fair. It's
Mhm.
a great
It
statement.
does. We don't. I don't get constipated from it. You don't get constipated
No,
from it.
it's never been an issue.
Winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank God, right? And we're not lactose intolerant either. Because like,
Woo. Dodge some bullets there. Thanks, parents. Appreciate you.
but we move into charcuterie, and at that point, usually the sangria is out, and I am known for my sangria.
Oh, she known for that sangria.
Yeah. So that I usually have to make 3 batches
I was just gonna.
throughout the day.
I was just thinking. I was like, I think what we need to do is just get you a bigger vessel.
I do need a bigger vessel.
We just gotta
'cause
get
that
you
vessel's
a
never big
bigger
enough.
vessel.
Yeah.
You know.
so-
You know what? Actually, I'm
You're
just
adding it to your
Where's
list.
the
You gotta
list?
make- it's over
Damn
there.
it! It's over
Yeah.
there. Okay. All right.
yeah.
I'll watch this later,
need the bigger
guys.
one,
I've got an ongoing gift list for Emily.
I will say the one that I have holds about 5 bottles. And I
Yeah,
think
that's not
we
enough for us.
usually go through and a lot of people come throughout the day, but we probably hit around 15 bottles.
Yes, and
Of
yes,
wine
you guys
in
need
the
to
sangria.
understand that with the rotating meal TV comes rotating people. That's actually
Yeah.
something that I love about the tradition because it allows people who really want to come by and don't have anything to do at certain times a chance to swing on through, even if it's just for like a glass of Emily Sangria and whatever we're watching. It is so funny to see how many different friends have made it traditions of theirs.
Yeah.
How many different people have came through our homes because it's just so inviting, and again, there's always food on the table. There's always a drink for your hand. You're never alone. So it's something that it's just like this tradition is my favorite. And going with the charcuterie board, best in show.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's Apollo's favorite.
Apollo. Come here, say hi to everybody. No, sorry guys,
He's
he'll
not
get
doing
there.
it.
Don't worry. You got time. He's being camera shy,
Mhm.
But
He's tall enough to reach him.
I know you guys could see him, but he's just not. And we love that damn thing. I mean, even Emily not being a dog person, she's a dog person.
Yeah.
Like I love you, and she's not like the warm, snuggly dog person, but she likes a good dog.
Yeah.
She loves a good dog.
I
It's
do.
just the ones that are jumping on her.
Yeah.
Like I don't blame you, but
Or
at the
that
same
just
time,
Keep licking.
they love her. It's so weird. I mean, like you guys across the board, since we're talking about dogs for a quick second, dogs love Emily. It's so weird. Like I come in the home and I am like dogs, and by the end they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were the dog person. I'm so sorry," because they always go for her. They're like, "No, we don't care about you, but Emily's here. Hey," and they're just up her butt, and I'm like, "But be on my butt. Be on my butt." So it is funny though, because like we do with the charcuterie board comes best in show between the Macy's Day Parade and football, and it's so fun for us because we sit there, and I have now for 7 years watched it with Apollo to see if they'd maybe show the Mastiff walking.
Ooh.
Never have.
Mhm.
If you're listening, guys, please show the Mastiff this year. It might be his last. They live 8 to 10. Give him a chance.
We just want him to see him on the TV.
We just want to see him with him on the TV. They're so cute, those giant Mastiffs. But
Oh,
it's like,
good.
and it's so funny because, again, as people trickle through, it just is always because Emily has a great backyard too. So it's like outside, inside, and it's just a little of everything. The TV's on. You have all the options to have as much fun as you want to.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then we get on to the main course, which over the years has been quite a shit show, depending on the year. But because of how much mimosas and sangria
Sure,
I've had
episodes.
throughout the day. Yeah, there's definitely a few
Or the night
episodes
before.
about that one. Or the night before. Yeah. And But we'll reference this year because this past year I actually nailed it.
Crushed it.
But I've always been like, I have to cook everything, and I have to cook everything the day of. Like, I want it to be fresh. I want it to be this, whatever. And so I learned this year that you don't have to cook everything the day of. It's okay if you prep some of the stuff a few days or a day in advance, and oh my gosh, it still tastes the same. Some of it even better. And so this year was like easy peasy.
This is the calmest I've
was
ever
like-
seen you
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving, I feel like.
Everything was ready and it just needed to be put in the oven. And even the turkey, I brined my own turkey for the first time this past year. I've actually made it twice because it was so damn good. But
it was so good.
so that was even easy because it had already brined for the days before and I just had to like butter it up and throw it in the oven. But that we typically try to do like main dinner around 2-ish, 3-ish, so that you get to eat a second time.
That's right. We gotta figure it out. It doesn't start at 2 for as far as everybody getting there. You got food at 2.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and so then we
Watch football.
we watch football. We have all the football games on, and then we typically, some of us might end up wine napping. Kind of just depends.
I have a photo every year of Emma wine napping.
I did not wine nap. Oh no, I did not. I think I wine nap this past year. Was it this year?
It was, yes, but it wasn't really a wine nap. It was almost like a sleep before the sleep. You did the best you've done in
I
a
made
long
it
time
so
this
far
year, you
this
guys.
year.
I mean, like, she made it all the way to 9 p.m. before she napped before sleep.
Yeah,
But she napped
and then
and then woke up
Yeah.
because it was game time.
yeah. And then that's what we end with. Is there's game time, the pies, dessert, anything like that, and it's always just a really fun time.
The
We
last
love
minute
Uno.
people. The last minute
the last
people.
wave of people come through.
Those people that show up for Uno at the end, that's the real
It's cutthroat.
that
They get
honestly, that's the real interesting though, because everybody's been finished with their families and all the craziness happened to theirs, and then they end up with us at
Yeah.
Uno, and it's so fun. It's so ridiculous.
And it's usually most people are not sober.
No. And yelling, I mean, like, yelling is involved, but in a happy yelling.
Oh my
You know, the
gosh,
Uno
yeah.
yelling type of way. You guys
Yeah.
know the Uno yelling type
Yeah.
of way.
And
And
wouldn't trade it for anything.
No,
Like, it
I
is
know.
so fun every year.
thank you for hosting.
Of
And it
course.
is my favorite.
It's mine. Yeah, I can't imagine anything else. Other than I do have to go to a Dallas Cowboys game on Thanksgiving one year, but that's for another episode.
Yeah, maybe like the baby's first birthday, because all of us will be crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so like you can sneak away.
Yeah,
I'm first
see.
Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
sneak away.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sneak away. Yeah, we'll see when it gets there, because like I
So-
still would probably host it at her house just to feel better. Like, what do you mean that all
I'll
the
just have it
stuff
all
is
prepped.
here?
Have it all prepped and
Yeah,
get
just have it
in the
prepped and then
fridge,
you
just
go,
so I
and
can
I
fly
will
out and
cook
go to a game.
And make sure all the leftovers are in the fridge. It's just so funny though, because even Sean, I mean, anybody who's been to it gets it.
Yeah.
Because it really is, it is me tooting our horn, because it's just, we are very, come, if you don't have anywhere to be, please come. We will make sure your heart is full of love, your food is full, your belly is full of food, and that your drinks cups are always full. Even if not alcoholic, there'll still be
Yeah.
drinks there for them. But it's just the most beautiful tradition, and I'm so lucky.
Yeah, and we even got to have a really good time even back in Vegas with all of our friends in Vegas. Like we even did the same style
I
back then,
know.
and so there's just plenty of memories over the years of having a family Thanksgiving where our friends and family come together, and it's just always a good time.
It is always a good time.
Yeah.
And speaking of friends and family, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Mm. Thank you so much for checking out.
Yeah, and we'll see you next episode.
Bye.